back to another episode of the Bro-est Bros You Knows. I'm your host, Passionate, and here with me, a new replacement for Emotional because he sucks, our #1 fan,
Anna. I can't fucking do this.
Anna, what's up? Anna, thank you so much for coming on to our show. So, you're a #1 fan. How'd you find out about us?
It was really just like a stroke of luck, really. Just kind of stumbled upon it, and it was struck by the beautiful voices of Passionate and Emotional.
Dang, Anna, you're like really quick on your feet and stuff.
I don't want to play anymore. Your wife had to leave the room.
You're doing really well.
Oh, shut up.
You're doing really well.
So write me a script next time so I have something to follow.
You're so good.
Shut up.
Hey, so Anna, are you a fan of fantasy football?
I don't know a thing about fantasy football.
You see, fantasy football is actually like quite awesome. We talk about this a lot on our show. Now, if you're a fantasy football player out there, that means that you have just gone through your championship, or if you're one of those weird leagues, you're playing your championship this week. To all the champions out there, congratulations. You know, one of the annoying things to me is when you're in a league and you win, and then you have people try to tell you about like how they're in other leagues and they've won those other leagues, and you're just kind of like, yeah. I see how like you think that this is evidence of how you're actually awesome at fantasy football, but that is false because that is inadmissible evidence in the court of bro. Let me tell you why. Because I wasn't in your league. And if I were in your league, I would have beaten you. Why? Because I'm better than you. You know what it's like, Anna, when someone tries to tell you about a fantasy football league that they're in and you're not in it? I mean, it's kind of like when you ask somebody how their vacation was and then they show you like a bunch of pictures. I mean, like, I was just being nice. I didn't want like a freaking PowerPoint presentation, Jerry.
Yeah, you're just trying to be polite.
Yeah.
Nobody really listened. I wasn't there.
There he is. Screw Jerry. Okay.
Who the fuck is Jerry?
We actually have a song that I've made for all the champions out there. I want you guys to listen to this song and then play it for the members of your league so that they know who's actually boss.
This one goes out to my fantasy football champions. Hey, that's right. If you won your fantasy football league this year, give yourself a pat on the back. This song's for you. Just sing with me, guys. Here we go. Lick, lick, lick my balls. Now lick, lick, lick my balls. Lick my balls, league. Lick, lick, lick my balls. Lick, 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 lick my balls. That's right. Lick, lick, lick my balls. Lick, 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 lick my balls. Lick my balls, Chris. Lick, lick, lick my balls. Lick, 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 lick my balls. That's right. Lick, lick, lick my balls. Lick a, lick a, lick a, lick my balls. Dave, lick, lick. Lick my balls, lick, 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 lick my balls, league. Lick, lick, lick my left nut. Lick, lick, lick the right. Lick, lick, lick the left nut. Oh yeah, that's right. I was better than you. I was better than all of you. Lick my nuts. I was better than you. I was better than all of you. Lick my nuts. I was better than you. Especially better than you, Chris. I was better than you. I was better than all of you. Lick my nuts. Lick, lick, lick my balls. Lick, lick, lick my balls. Lick my balls, Chris. Lick, lick, lick the left nut. Now we're gonna break down the steps for you guys. First you gotta get a towel, set it on the floor, and then kneel on that towel. And then lick, lick, lick my balls. Lick, lick, lick my balls. Lick my balls, league. Lick, lick, lick my balls. Lick a, lick a, lick a, lick my balls. League. Lick, lick, lick my balls. Lick a, lick a, lick a, lick my balls. Lick my balls, league. Lick, lick, lick my balls. Lick, 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 lick my balls. That's right. Oh, let's get licky with it. Oh, let's get licky with it. Lick my balls. Let's get licky with it. Oh, let's get licky with it. Lick my balls. Let's get licky with it. Oh, let's get licky with it. Lick my balls, Dave. That's right. Lick my balls, Dave.
That was beautiful.
that was beautiful. Man, such beautiful lyrics.
I was blown away by the creativity myself. Do you have a karaoke version of that one?
Oh, man.
I want to do it at my next party.
Oh man.
La la la.
All right, we have an excellent episode for you guys today. Anna's on the show. She's not gonna change. She didn't want to pick a character or get into character.
I'm really lazy. I apologize.
All right, so you say Bro-est Bros with me? I say we are. Okay, we are the Bro-est Bros.
Oh, no, try again.
Okay. We are the Bro-est Bros You Knows.
Nailed it.
It's so good.
Yep.
So good. So, Anna, Kansas City. How's life?
Life's good.
Yeah, you have a little kid.
Yeah, little boy.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
His name is Pickles.
Pickles.
Yeah.
Pickles the cat.
You call him Pickles the cat?
That's his full name, but Pickles for short.
Now, tell me, how did you come up with the name Pickles?
I think that's a really good question.
Why are you so mean to your kid?
You know, I feel that pickles are a very noble vegetable, and
That's not a vegetable.
I don't know. Why would anyone choose pickles as that name? That's pretty awful.
That's what I'm asking you. All right. So your husband, Jay, he's an avid gamer.
Yeah.
Apparently is really big into Destiny.
Yeah.
Which that's a game that like I feel a lot of people they have really strong opinions about either one way or another. He actually plays it on the Xbox. I have the PlayStation version of it, which was a very underwhelming gaming experience when it came out. There's been a lot of updates, so it's become a better overall experience. He actually does a podcast for the game Destiny. He plays with a group called...
Well, he's part of the Alliance Dads of Destiny, and his clan is Leroy Jenkins. So.
Leroy Jenkins!
Yeah.
Awesome!
Well, actually, it's Leroy Jenkins!
Nice.
That's the clan name, yeah.
Epic. All right, and then his podcast is called...
Focused Fire.
Focused
Fire
Fire.
Chat. Mm-hmm.
Focus Fire Chat. Check it out. They go through the backstory on Destiny.
It was a cross-community chat where they talked about the lore behind Destiny, and then every week they do a recap. So it's him and two other guys that game in Destiny, and they talk about the lore, tried to expound on it, talk about theories, like a lot of conspiracy theories within the game. It's pretty good. It's fun for gamers that want to get more into the backstory than just the gaming.
Excellent. Yeah, so definitely check that out. Are they on iTunes?
They have a Podbean account, and I wish I remembered the link, but they stream on Twitch. Blue Crew 86 is the Twitch channel. You can watch them stream on Wednesdays. I think it's 10 o'clock Central. 10 o'clock Central time if you want to watch them stream.
All right, and we're going to find out that Podbean information for you guys, and we'll be having it in a link below, so please check that out. And we're just going to get right into it. I hear you're a big sci-fi fan, all right? And so probably the biggest sci-fi movie to come out in, 30, 40 years? Since the original Star Wars, The Force Awakens. What do you think?
That was a fun movie. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That was
great.
great review, bro.
That's bros you get. So I'm really bad at reviewing movies. I thought it was fun. I didn't dress up or do anything crazy, so
yeah.
I like that the lead is a woman. I thought that was kind of nice. Or one of the leads. I guess there wasn't really one lead character, but I liked seeing her. I thought she was really likable and strong, but not like an over stereotype. I thought that was pretty good.
We're just gonna throw a quick warning. I don't know how much we're gonna go into it, but if you don't like spoilers, or you haven't seen it yet, then maybe don't listen anymore. Turn this off, because spoiler alert. We might discuss some spoilers just in case. We're not gonna try to, but if we do, we don't want you guys to get upset.
If we don't, we'll come back and edit this and take this part out.
Yeah. Right. All right. I'll tell you who was a fan. Passionate was a big fan.
Oh, really?
Of Star Wars. Hey, Passionate, why don't you come back out here? Hey, what's up, bros? Yeah, I was like, man, Star Wars, That was a really bro show. Yeah, so who's your favorite character, Passionate? Oh man, Poe Dameron. That dude was a beast. Oh yeah? What was your favorite part about Poe Dameron's character? Man, I just loved the fact that he had like long hair, and like when he ran away from explosions, it just kind of like flew in the wind, and he had like that epic line like, hey, put that bunny back in the box. I mean, like, that was pretty sweet. Actually, Passionate, I think you're talking about Cameron Poe, and that's from Con Air. We're talking about Poe Dameron, who was played by Oscar Isaac. Oh, yeah, I totally didn't watch Star Wars. I watched Con Air. That's cool, dude. You gotta get lost now, though, because we're talking about Star Wars. Alright, peace. Yeah, so Poe Dameron, he was one of the new heroes that was introduced in the show. Looked like he may have died fairly early on in the movie.
I was sure he was dead.
And you knew, well, I mean, from the trailers, you saw him do other stuff, so I guess you kind of figured he had to.
I actually never saw the trailer.
Oh, you didn't watch the trailer?
No, I didn't.
Hyped up, didn't even see the trailer.
Nope.
That's cool. He was played by Oscar Isaac. My wife and I, we watched him in Ex Machina, and he was excellent. And it was kind of funny because he sort of plays like the mad scientist in that movie, and in this one, he was kind of more like the charm, like he's kind of like the new Han Solo of the series.
Yeah, he was very charming pilot thing going for him. Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, he was definitely cool. Finn.
I liked Finn.
The stormtrooper with a heart of gold.
I liked him.
He was good, and like you said, Rey, I thought she did really well.
I want to know more about her. We didn't see a whole lot of her backstory, but I think they're setting that up for later movies and stuff.
Yeah. So okay, this is probably the one controversial character, Kylo Ren. Some people really, really loved him and his performance, and some people were kind of so-so. How'd you feel about Kylo Ren, Adam Driver's performance?
I was so excited to see his face.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, he just didn't. He didn't live up to my expectations, sadly. I don't know. I think they could have done a lot more with him. I don't understand why he was so emo.
Yeah, and it felt a little. I mean, you don't want to like a retread of that Anakin Skywalker.
Just about to say that scene where he's all like pissed off, throwing the little bolt across the room and throwing tantrums. There was a lot of that exact same behavior.
Yeah, and that was kind of like the downfall of the prequel. So you
really,
you really don't want them to kind of go through that again. I just kind of felt like he was slightly inconsistent. I mean, we saw him straight up freeze like a laser beam midair.
Yeah, he was badass.
We've never seen anyone be able to do that. That's like some crazy like force power.
Absolutely, I like that.
And then he goes in and he's. I mean, it takes him a while to take care of Finn. I know like he ends up like beating him in the lightsaber
Finn
fight.
was not supposed to be that impressive. I mean, he worked sanitation.
Yeah.
He could only use a blaster.
Yeah,
and that girl hit him in the face with a stick.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, they set him up to be this super badass, and then he was just kind of a whiner.
Yeah, trained by Luke. You know, like he's young, and so
should have been terrifying.
So I get like he's young, he's still in training. He's not gonna be Darth Vader level, but like even a step below Darth Vader level should. I mean, you're still trained as a Jedi. Even like a low-level Jedi would wipe the floor with just about anybody else.
Well, and he had whatever the Force was like really strong with him. I mean, that was the whole point. And he's clearly super emotional, which is like, very much like the dark side and beating the hate and all that stuff. But
for sure,
he should have been terrifying, and then he was kind of a whiner.
Yeah. One of the small issues I had, and you know, it does sound like we're kind of nitpicking a little bit. Overall, I think we both agree that was a really fantastic movie.
Good. So good.
One of the things that I had just a slight issue with was that they gave the reveal that he was actually Kylo Ren was actually Ben Solo, Han Solo's kid. That was a line by Snoke, like midway through the movie, and I thought that they should have saved that. So that when Han Solo gave his line, like when they said like, "Who do you think you'll see when I take off the mask? The face of my son." That would have been like really awesome right there when that was the reveal. But we already knew because Snoke already said that Han Solo is your dad earlier on in the movie. I thought that they should have saved that for.
Why didn't you write the movie? That would have been excellent. That would have been perfect. Because in the other movies, that big line, the "I am your father" line, was like one of the most important lines. So why didn't they give the same import to this? Because
it would have been cool. It would have mirrored it a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that, you know, so like I mean, my wife is a big
Star Wars fan. After she watched the movie, she actually went over with some of her friends and watched all of the originals. And we were talking about it, and it's, you know, when you don't have any of the original writers, George Lucas isn't involved, the original directors aren't involved, you essentially, what you end up with is Disney has created a multi-million-dollar fanfic, right?
Yes.
And they gave the keys to J.J. Abrams. And J.J. Abrams is really fantastic of setting up these worlds, like reintroducing people to worlds that they grew up knowing. He did this for Star Trek. And he did such a good job with Star Wars, and you know, there's so much fan service in the show, so many little winks and nods to like the things from the past. I thought that was really excellent. I think probably my biggest complaint was Kylo Ren's character, and then how, I don't know if they botched it. It was fine. I kind of felt like they should have saved his.
It still was good.
Oh, definitely. And like we said, Finn, like they introduced new characters that were all fascinating characters. That was the best thing. It wasn't like you went in and it was like, well, the best part of the show was Han Solo, Harrison Ford's performance. He did well.
He was great, but he was by far not my favorite.
No.
I loved Finn from the beginning. I connected to him and was rooting for him from the first time we saw him behind his helmet. Who are you laughing at, you turd face?
Turd face. Okay,
that
so
was a serious comment. I really did like him. I have a crush on every stormtrooper I see.
And you guys can't actually see me. If you've seen some of my videos, you may have seen my face. I definitely have a handsome face. It's not a turd face. It's quite handsome. My wife thinks it's handsome. At the very least, my mom thinks it's a handsome face. Let's see here.
I apologize for the turd face comment.
We're getting. It's all right. Forgive you. We're getting notes from. Notes from production here. They want to hear your thoughts on. So we're talking about Star Wars. You're also a Star Trek fan. And what was your favorite part about the Star Trek series?
Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah, why did you like him so much?
He was hot, man. I don't know. There's something. He's like what every bro should aspire to be.
Okay, so when did Star Trek? When the Captain Picard one? When did that? Was that like 80s?
I have no idea.
90s?
Don't ask me for facts. I have no idea. Yeah. Production says yeah.
Production says yeah. So what were you, like a 10-year-old?
I
fell in love with like some.
No, I watched them later. I grew up with Voyager and Captain Janeway. Okay. I definitely adored her, but then I went and saw Picard afterwards. But
and she's the actress's name. It's slipping my mind, but
yeah.
she's also excellent in a new show on Netflix, Orange Is the New Black,
she's
as
so good
Red.
in that, yeah.
Man, what is your name?
She's always Janeway. I called her Janeway in Orange Is the New Black. It was awful.
Yeah, she's like, and she's kind of part of like that like female like TV royalty where they've just been around for forever, have great staying power. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, the same way. She was on with Seinfeld in the 90s, and now she's kind of come back on Veep. What is this?
Production's helping.
Oh yeah, production is giving us some more notes. Okay, so the Star Wars that Captain Picard was on, that aired between 87 and 94. So you would have been like 1.
Don't give away my age. Yeah, rude.
Oh, sorry.
Not a very bro thing to do though.
It was not a very bro thing to do.
Bro.
Well, it was fairly bro. I mean, I could have said the truth and said you were 15.
Gross. Did you get my parents to sign consent for me to be on this show? Rude.
No, you would have been 15 at the time. That was like a you're old joke. Like you're old.
Oh, rude. I am old. You caught me.
Yep. Yeah, I saw a picture. You have a teenage son, Pickles. Seen him?
Pickles out of this.
Kate Mulgrew. Is that how you say it?
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right.
That's her name.
Let's go with it. Say it with confidence.
Kate Mulgrew. God, I said that. That did not sound confident. I am not.
She's gonna come and kick your ass.
Mulgrew. Okay. Well, man, the production team is helping us out a lot. So yeah, that was like a segue to nowhere. But yeah, we'll just go back real quick. Star Wars. Let's see here. What else? BB-8. was great.
He was adorable.
Yeah, he was adorable.
He knew that,
Yeah,
he could stay. I'm glad that C-3PO made a little appearance. I was afraid they're gonna like forget about him. And
Oh,
leave him
I
out.
loved it. It was a, I don't think you'll recognize me because he has like the red arm.
Yeah, I liked him. I'm glad he was there.
Yeah. Oh, another thing. Chewbacca. Was Chewbacca too pretty? Like Chewbacca like looked like
Never be too pretty.
Chewbacca looked like he got himself like some bottle of like really expensive conditioner. Like his fur looks so nice in this movie.
I think it's a little Pantene going on.
Yeah, like the old movies, he had like more of like this rough and
Well, I think they'd had an easier time. I think him and Han were like kind of cush doing some of the
'cause
old man thieving stuff.
they were heroes, and then I guess they're
bad guys.
they're bad guys.
what do you call them there? Forget it. I can't.
It was like smuggling. Like,
Yeah, they're
smuggling.
smugglers. That's right. Smugglers. That's the word.
Smugglers. Yeah. So yeah.
No, I think. No, Chewbacca. I liked him. I think one of my favorite scenes was when that one nurse is tending to him and he was all giving his sob story. She's like, "Yeah, that sounds really scary. You are so brave." He's like,
Aw.
Chewie. That's classic Chewie.
It's you. What else? Oh, Captain Phasma's character. Like
Which one's that?
that was
So
the main stormtrooper, big one, metallic.
Oh, that was kind of cool.
It was cool, but like I felt like she was gonna have a bigger role. She's played by Gwendolyn something or rather. You would know her. She plays Brienne in Game of Thrones. So
I love her.
yeah,
I had no idea.
And they kind of, I don't know if they hyped it up, but like I mean, it was the girl from Game of Thrones. It was kind of cool. She kind of convinced them.
like a female stormtrooper was huge. I'd never seen that before.
And that role was originally given to a guy. I mean, because it's a giant stormtrooper, and there's just not a lot of women that can kind of pull it off. Gwendolyn being,
Yeah, she's perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, but they kind of just wrote her off. Like she was.
Yeah, I don't know if
Just
like
any
maybe
other
there's more.
stormtrooper.
Maybe when there's like a director's cut, we might see a little bit more of her. But I felt like her role was a little hyped, and we didn't get to see much. So that was kind of
Yeah,
disappointing.
that's kind of how I feel about all the bad guys.
Yeah.
I was ready for them to be awesome because I think the villains in Star Wars were always some of the best villains, like Darth Vader.
Darth Vader is the most epic bad guy of all time.
And
Like,
if
such an
Kylo Ren's
iconic-
going to be the new bad guy in these next 3 movies, I don't know how you fix that. They kind of set up a very Anakin thing going on.
Yeah, that's tough. You're right. The villains were kind of disappointing versus the heroes.
The heroes were great.
Yeah.
They established great heroes with compelling stories, and I'm definitely interested in where they're going. But
Yeah, and so the new good guys. This is the Resistance. In the original Star Wars, those were the rebels. And Oscar Isaac, they did an interview with him. They're like, so what's the difference between what was happening then and what's happening now? And it's, like the rebels, that's an active thing. They had coordination, they had a military, and the Resistance, I guess, is a little bit more desperate. They're kind of defending, and it's sort of like defending their way of life or their right to exist and survive. So it's a lot more, it's bleaker. But I felt like they didn't have, I don't know. It's always good to have a really good bad guy.
yeah, even the whole organization, the First Order. I mean, maybe I wasn't paying attention enough, but I really didn't get a clear view of who they were and what their goal was.
Yeah.
And that, so from a individual character perspective and as an organization, the villain was kind of unfinished.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
So I don't
we
know
still don't know who Snoke is exactly. It was
Or
like
what
this
he is
giant
and why he
hologram.
looks so gross.
And we thought-
like Golem. I don't know.
We had our theory that maybe he's actually just like Yoda size and he projects himself as this large thing to come off intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so hopefully the second movie we'll get a little bit more backstory on some of the bad guys. Hopefully Kylo Ren gets a little bit more of a backbone.
I think he's going to be a great character if they do it right. I mean, I like the fact that he comes from the good side and all that stuff, and then it's gone dark, very Darth Vader. I don't know. I like the idea, but I just felt like I don't know if it's that actor's fault either. I don't know.
Adam Driver. How do you feel about Adam Driver? He's in the show Girls. Never seen
I've
it.
never seen that. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't buy the emotions on his face.
Yeah. It just kind of sounds like you're saying he wasn't hot enough. Like
Am I a little superficial? The bad guy should be totally hot.
Totally hot.
Totally
Like, who-
well, Darth Vader
was definitely not hot.
No, but
he took off his mask and I was like, oh my god, it's like Freddy Krueger.
No, it's one or the other though. You either have to have presence or you have to be hot. And
you're saying Adam Driver didn't have either.
Well, no. Well, like you said, that first scene where he stops that laser or whatever, I was definitely like, ooh, this guy's a badass. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know.
The aesthetics were cool, like his mask and everything.
Yeah, I was cool with his mask, and it was very Darth Vader-y, but not Darth Vader. It was definitely his own, and that's fine. But when we saw his face, I don't know, he should have been angrier, less Anakin emo angry, and more like legit. He should be darker. He's supposed to be dark side. I didn't buy it.
All right, well, Anna, it was a pleasure having you on our show. We gotta nerd it out a little bit, talk a little Star Wars.
Yeah.
This is our #1 fan. She won a contest. The contest was extended to only her. She didn't even know she had entered. She won.
Woo! Best day of my life when I got that phone call.
Yeah. So, and we really appreciate it. She was a little nervous doing this show. I told her that she was going to do fine. You guys heard the show now. I guess she was right.
Yeah, only leave nice comments. You're so rude. You're so rude.
No, you did fine. You did really well. You did good, kid.
Thanks. You're never inviting me back.
And definitely check out Focus Fire Chat. Yeah. Check it out. And shout out to Pickles.
Love you, Pickles.
Love you, Pickles. What's his real name?
Matthew.
Matthew.
Really? Is that why he's been Pickles?
Yes.
That's embarrassing.
Matthew, when you're old enough to, can he speak? How old is he?
Oh my god. Yeah, he's 2.5. He's very clever. I read him one of
So you can let him listen to this.
Blogs.
Would he like be so impressed? Like he's like, oh my gosh, you're talking about me?
I read the Cthulhu Comes to DC blog and he loved it.
That's a dark one.
Yeah, I think he had nightmares for months. It was so good. Mom laughed during the whole thing, so I probably took away some of the scary stuff.
So maybe Mom's not so good.
I'm a great mom.
Great mom.
Great mom.
You are a most excellent mom. Matthew, we hope that you enjoy the show. Eat your vegetables or whatever. Is he old enough to eat vegetables? I don't know. I'm really bad with 2.5. So he can do stuff?
Do most stuff, yeah. Lots of things.
Cool.
He has conversations.
Awesome. So I'm sure you're probably cartwheels, kid stuff. Mm-hmm.
You have
toy
a kid,
trucks,
dude.
Hot Wheels.
He loves Hot Wheels.
Boom.
Totally loves
I can totally.
And Legos. Legos are anything.
Legos are cool.
for Christmas. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There we go. All right. For reals, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, guys. Until next time, we are
the Bro-est Bros You Knows. That part was the best part. I like that. I can do that. Woo!